Good morning, Oracles! What a boring day yesterday for Tesla. We opened up below $700, went up to almost $735, and then closed at up 0.05%. That's as pretty flat as you can get, hence the gray plain shirt. So, pretty boring day overall, other than the fact that we did have that nice roller coaster ride to get to nowhere. So that was fun, but some great information and potentials that we got in some tweets yesterday. Leo Koguan, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who I believe he says he's the third largest shareholder for Tesla, has said, he suggested to a senior board member that perhaps Tesla does some buybacks. Tesla does $5 billion in buybacks this year and $10 billion in buybacks next year. That still leaves them plenty of capex to do and fund all of their projects for the year, including potentially opening up a factory in Indonesia, as well as continuing the Optimus program that they are working on. This could help boost the stock price up a little bit, especially if they intend on doing a split. So again, nothing, true or factual coming out of this. This was just a suggestion from this large shareholder. But thinking about it, Tesla has never mentioned a buyback, but we have talked about it in the past between buybacks or dividends. What are they going to be doing with all of this free cash flow coming in? Lots of different options, and Elon has stated in the past that this isn't something that's on their radar as something that they want to do. But again, what are they going to do with this money? Yes, obviously Optimus is going to be a huge piece. They invest a lot of their money into R&D. And if they have a lot of factories that they plan on opening up over the next 4 to 5 years, and then going the whole route with Optimus, taking things to AI levels that no one has ever seen, that's a good place that they could be investing their money also. So again, we have no concrete information about any of this. This is just rumor and things that are suggested. But let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. Would you be up for a buyback for the stock over the next 2 years? And now I was talking to Slim in the comments yesterday, and we were discussing, if we are going to do a split at the prices that we're at right now, is it still going to be worth it? And I believe yes, and Slim agreed, and we think that it is definitely a yes. And I related it to, I myself am a champion eater. Not professionally, but I did earn the name the bottomless pit because of how much food I can consume. Now, when I look at things like a stock split, I will relate it to food because I love food. And so when I'm looking at this, I can say, I can sit down and eat 1,000-calorie candy bar. Great. That is one candy bar gone. That would be Tesla stock at $700. Or I can eat 1,000 calories worth of M&Ms, handful after handful after handful of M&Ms. Personally, I get more joy from eating those handfuls of M&Ms for the same calorie amount. It's just because it's many more things. I feel like I'm getting more food in me, despite the fact that it is the same calorie amount. Same holds true when it comes to the stock. So when we're looking at a stock split, we're looking at a same exact valuation. Valuation does not change for the stock. But many people are going to feel more comfortable taking on lots more of these smaller dollar amount stock than they would for one large lump sum stock amount, despite the fact that it has the same exact value. It's a psychological thing. Just like for me, eating those M&Ms in handfuls was more satisfying than eating one large candy bar. And so again, while we have no information whatsoever on the split and amount that they're going to be doing, we go back to, if they do a buyback to boost the stock price up, which then allows for a split at a higher price, or maybe they do a buyback after the split. I don't know. So many different options that are out there right now to swing things one way or the other. So let's see how this all plays out, but I still do feel that they are going to be doing a split this year because I want more M&Ms, and I'd rather have the M&Ms than a candy bar. And now another conversation that I was having in the comments was with Seed, and he had mentioned that he's an insider. I don't know any other information. I don't know him personally. I don't know if his insider information is on the EV or Tesla side of things or just in the stock market in general. but he's suggesting that the stock could pull back to $100. This is without a split, pulling back to $100. I do not agree with this, but as I have shared with all of you on here, I like to give all of the opinions that I hear from you guys, as long as there's solid backing behind it, as a potential, as something that could happen. You know, it's just more information I can give to you on every spectrum that is out there so that you can do your own research to see what the best options are for your own portfolio and investing strategy. So, you know, he's saying that this is something that we are looking at. There's going to be a huge whole entire market collapse. So this isn't, you know, Tesla specific, but the whole thing would collapse and bring Tesla down to $100. Just throwing it out there as an option. Again, for me personally, I don't think we are going to go that low, but previously he did suggest that we were going to be pulling back to the levels that we're at, and he is correct. So, you know, I take it with a grain of salt, but, you know, been correct in the past. Let's see where we go in the future. And yes, while this is very bearish sentiment by Seed, there was good intention behind it. It was in reference to people who are freaking out about the price coming down to $700. And just as a little heed of warning of, if you can't accept the fact that a stock and any company could realistically go to zero, then you shouldn't be investing your money because, you know, you didn't have it to invest anyway. So it was more of a warning of caution, you know, if anything, just to protect yourself. And that's it. And realistically, you know, investing is very important. I think it's great for the future. I think everyone should do it, but you shouldn't be investing more money than you can afford to lose all of. And this is really just the warning that Seed wanted to put out there. So for me, if we pull back to $100, for me, again, it's going to be an even better buying opportunity. So my strategy when I hear all these things, because I hear, you know, some bulls saying that we're going to hit $3,000 by the end of the year, Seed saying we're going down to $100, William Reed saying we're going down to $150. That is an enormous spectrum in between. This is why I dollar cost average the way that I do. Because for me, if I dollar cost average this way and I make sure that I balance my portfolio and cash flow generation along with my cash reserves, I find that fine line and I tweak along the way to keep myself where I want to be. This way I'm adding along the way. If we do crash down that far, I still have plenty of cash reserves to add more. If we do not fall that far, I'm still adding and dollar cost averaging. If we decide to randomly turn around and skyrocket all the way back up, I have still dollar cost averaged. I am still getting the best price over the course of time, regardless of which way that the stock turns. That's my strategy. You've got to do your own due diligence and figure out the best strategy for you, but this is why I share with all of you guys every single piece of information that I get from all of you and all the different ideas that are out there as far as which way the stock can move. Because when you put all of these pieces together, it's going to help you formulate the best strategy possible for you. Now, at the end of the day, I still always go back to the fundamentals of the company. The fundamentals of Tesla right now are still extremely strong. Yes, we have a hiccup that we had in Q2 because of the COVID shutdown in Shanghai. That is a one-time deal, not going to happen again. Well, we say it's not going to happen again, but as of right now, that is done. We should be back to full swing on June 1st, and we will take it from there. But the fundamentals of the company otherwise are still very strong. You know, as we mentioned with the buybacks, Tesla can afford $5 billion and $10 billion buybacks over the next 2 years and still fund all of their projects that they are working on. So if they have that kind of free cash flow, that is an amazing fundamentally based company that I want to be invested in, whether they're $100 per share or $1,000 per share. So for me, I still dollar cost average because I know I'm going to get the best average price by doing it this way, because I do not know what the future holds, whether we're going to go to $100 or $3,000. And in my own mind, I base my projections on what I see in the future. 10 years down the road, I see us at least $12,000 per share. So for me, I base my investing on where I see us in the future 10 years down the road, not where I see us in 6 to 12 months. So let me know in the comments below, are you an M&M eater or are you a candy bar eater? And do you think that we are going to be going down to $100 or up to $3,000 or somewhere in between? Which end of the spectrum do you think that we are going to end in the next 6 months? Do you think we're going to be over 700 or below 700? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.